I stream The Great Ace Attorney on Twitch, and I will apologize right now for my atrocious accents. This time, I've once again been accused of murder, but now it's of my best friend. Like, what the heck? However, before I ask Herlock Sholmes to explain the details to y'alls, I'd like to ask you guys to subscribe. It really helps out a lot, especially since, in the meantime, check out my Twitter if you're interested on hearing updates for videos and streaming, and take it away, Sholmes.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. There's trouble in the air. Eh? Where are we? Wait. I can't move. Uh-oh. What the? Why am I in handcuffs? Gosh, we were in the closet. We had to drag you out of the wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are true cold-blooded men. You found me then. We found you. And now you pay, criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe? Sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Oh, lady, why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Miss Susato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? Uh-oh. Oh no! Ha! You pretend you do not know you are a wolf in sheep's pelt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuse. Is Kazuma dead? No! I don't want Kazuma to be dead. Do not have him... He's actually dead. Two weeks ago. Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study? It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor, I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look. Hey, that's rude. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? Judicial Assistant Miko Toba, you mean? Your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. Suppose so. Anyway, it's about time that the Steward was supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze. Yeah, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside. How did he die? He really has been killed, hasn't he? It's not just a bad dream. And these handcuffs, they think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer? When I found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course he has no post-mortem analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call. That means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. Now ask you a question. Yeah, alright. What is this? My head's hurting. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Yeah, I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now. I've been shut up in this cabin this entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's... Oh, no. That would have been impossible, obviously. Yeah, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself. I don't understand. Kazuma, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths? It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I, that you ought to become a lawyer yourself? You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world, in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? No, definitely not. But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Oh, come on! Is he desperately in love with me? Or was he? He was always saying the same thing. That he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Oh, no. Perhaps he thought he could do that with you. Maybe, but something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed. Well, yeah. I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but that's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. My head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it. I really don't want to doubt you, but the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Ugh. I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. Work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. Hiya! Oh. What did you just do? Oh, she just hit me. That was a Susato takedown. A Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. What? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. How am I supposed to? Have you forgotten already? What you achieved just a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. Ah, yeah, that. I did that. Tell me, when I was discovered in the wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there, just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same last night as well. Of course, the gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you! I'm sorry, no. I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back into position. I'm not a magician. For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Let's get to work! Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Yeah, but our friends are dead. We can't... Our friend is dead. Right, I'm not going to destroy evidence. Wait, what? Since when did you get here? As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European. How did he get in? You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here. He looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall. Yeah, all tall people are suspicious. Like, how do they get that tall? Put the sights on his bum. Excuse me. Hello? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh, this is a critical point in my investigation. Wah! Hi. Hi, you are insane. And also tall. You are actually tall. Or... what? Ah, I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry? What? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in the most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native... What? 16 victims of assassination. And when the... Ah, he's working off of the assumption that I'm Russian. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you're plotting a revolution too. It's shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Ow. Ow. Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am no other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women of the world over as the imitable Herlock Sholmes. So, it's really you? The actual Herlock Sholmes? The very same. The imitable actual Herlock Sholmes. Do you know this man, Susato-san? The most famous detective in the world, Naruhodo-san? Of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? Excuse me. The victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma is keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you want to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Susato-san, aren't you going to throw the detective one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, what on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. What is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado. Nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, you want to read it? Much obliged, my dear madam. Much obliged. 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. It's the friggin' speckled bandit band. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Oh no. The 2 facts I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. That is the Russian word for wardrobe. I don't think so. In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling to their head. Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Our school uniforms? And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Oh, now I'm sad. Oh. Now this cabin. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours, the one the ventilator connects to. Yep, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Let's get in here. Nothing? We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Oh, Sholmes! When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There is no time to think about stress relief. Wait. Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. I'm assuming he's Russian. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. In that case, who just screamed? Get out, all of you. Now. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I am a great detective amongst great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. Russian host is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such messages are not exclusively for the Russians. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh, yes, please. Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Come on. Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Something? Are you not? Huh. And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn, you are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. All the color is drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So, do I coldly invite you upon a journey of logical discovery? Let us form the trade of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Are we gonna do a little... Oh, we are doing this! We are doing this. This is gonna be interesting. Topic 1. Old man's identity. Conclusion. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Violent Bolshevik. Not that I've heard any of you myself, you understand. A revolutionary on the run. That's... But he also thought I was a revolutionary on the run. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina kidnapping of a young ballerina. Okay. Dang. I missed the last sentence, but that's okay. Nikolina. Thus concludes Sholmes' great deduction of the Russian enigma. I don't think that's how you say elementary in Russian. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and logic that seems a little off. It's just one or two key words in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them to alternatives. Would something? Switch some key words. Very tactfully. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. Take a moment to look at your wrists. Do I have... Hey! I'm not the criminal anymore! What could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Oh. On second thought, it might just be that our Mr. Roylott is just the prima ballerina in disguise. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Hey, that's another thing you got wrong. It's on the back again. Yes! There we go. The article about the ballerina. Correction. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right, you've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballerina's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Did we do it in... Oh. Your hat got poked. Be careful with those shears, they could hurt someone. Don't run with shears. Wow. You're right. Nikolina. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. A ballerina on the run. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Well, that doesn't work out. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And proof of this crime over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlina. Take it unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray. The eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. Come on. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. The traveling case. No, it's not the traveling case. And she's right in front of our eyes, so clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. Seems she wasn't abducted at all, in which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? See, I'm gonna have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Sholmes? We are basically dancing around. Stop it. It's not like I like him or anything. The tiara. She stole the tiara. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no. Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Ah! Come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. What do you mean? You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. That there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case... Oh, we got him wrong again.
Yes!
She's got a pet. Rules of passage. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case, written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. No weapon or other dangerous items would move on its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case is the last item listed as forbidden vessel's rules of passage, a pet. Aha! There we go. Mystery solved.